ところでさ、ちょいと暴れたし、ご褒美をくれよ。
え？ご褒美？
そう、お前さんの魔力。
I now call upon all men of culture who, like me, enjoy watching a good eki anime for the story, the plot, the characters, and of course, the beautiful animation that this genre offers. And as a friend of yours, I highly recommend you watch it alone, with headphones, and of course, some lotion and tissues will definitely come in handy while you enjoy this list.
やっぱお前の女の趣味はおかしいよ。
おいおい、もうレビューで証明されただろ。お前がおかしいんだって。
To kick off the list, I'm coming in strong with an eki that could very well be considered a hen. Well, you guys know what hen means. And now for the first anime, we have Interspecies Reviewer, an anime where two friends, a human and an elf of extreme culture, come together to explore all the establishments where ladies work with as little clothing as possible and rate the services provided by these lovely women with daddy issues. Remember, they have no prejudice against any existing species, and they will try all of them throughout the anime. And well, this anime is a bit spicier than usual, where the protagonists really go all the way, unlike me who still has fun with just my hand. So, if I recommend that you watch all the anime on this list alone for this one, it's even better if you make sure you're alone, with no risk of getting caught while watching this beauty.
そうだよ。悪魔も悪魔。とっても悪いお姉さんさ。
And for the number 2, Vermilion Gold. In this anime, we follow a boy named Alto Goldfield, who, despite having excellent grades and being extremely dedicated to his studies, is at risk of failing because he always struggles in summoning class. One day, by a stroke of extreme luck, a summoning grimoire falls on his head, and the lucky bastard finally manages to perform a summoning that definitely makes all his previous failures worth it. He successfully summons a beautiful demon woman who agrees to be his familiar, sealing their contract with a kiss. From there, we follow the development of a genuine romance with great eki scenes that we all love. So, if you enjoy an anime with action, romance, and of course, some good eki, then Vermilion Gold is definitely for you.
お客様は本日をもちましてロクサーヌの所有者となりました。
ついに俺はロクサーヌを。
And for the number 3, Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. The protagonist of this anime would definitely be just like me if I ended up in an isekai. Forget about fighting the Demon King. Forget about saving humanity. What he really wants is to build a harem and spend the rest of his life enjoying the best that life has to offer. Michio Kaga was playing an online game when he suddenly realized he couldn't log out, and he automatically finds himself trapped in a new world with just an overpowered sword. In his first minutes in the isekai, he wipes out a group of bandits and is taken to a city to sell one of the bandits who became his slave in this world. The slave trader then introduces him to Roxanne, a beautiful girl with a gigantic personality. Michio decides to do whatever it takes to gather the money needed to buy her, and the lucky guy actually manages to do it. From here, we watch Michio live the life I've always dreamed of, building a fine harem while making worth the most of the time they spend together. And a piece of friendly advice: make sure you're alone when you watch this anime, because there's a very thin line between this and the kind of anime you only watch on plus 18 websites.
おはようございます。赤霊同士で混合するとどうなるのですかしら。
エロだ。
And for the number 4, Sekai Rei, everyone thought that Minato Sahashi was just another loser and failure who lived without friends, without a social life, and failed the college entrance exam twice. That is until his world is turned upside down when he feels two soft melons fall on his head. The owner of the melons was a Sekai Rei, girls with supernatural powers that are activated when they kiss a human. This is where the lucky bastard Minato becomes her partner in the fight against other Sekai Reis and humans, while also building his own harem. In just one season, he kisses more people than most of us will in our entire lives. Sekai Rei is a light eki with good fights and solid comedy that is definitely worth checking out.
あらあら、まだわからないところが。
いえ。
遠慮しないで。私が何でも教えて差し上げますわ。
And for number 5, High School DxD. Being one of the most well-known anime on this list, in this anime we follow Issei, a pervert who did nothing with his life except chase after beautiful women, never achieving any kind of success with any of them. Unfortunately, I understand his pain. But one day, after passing away and being attacked by an angel, The lucky guy gets a second chance at life by being revived by Ria's Gremory, a high-ranking demoness who makes him her servant, so that he can help her in the war between angels and demons. While he trains to avoid continuing as a useless loser, he finds himself in some really great situations. So without further ado, this anime is one of the most classic ekis of all time. And if you haven't watched it yet, it's definitely worth checking out.
木枯らしちゃん、私のことを襲っちゃってどうぞ。
いろいろ危ない。
And for number 6, Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs. In a bathhouse that became an extremely cheap boarding house due to its haunted reputation, it turned out to be the perfect place for Kogarashi to live, a broke guy who decided to face his fears and at least have a place to sleep. When he finally arrives at the boarding house, he discovers that the ghost haunting the mansion is actually a beautiful girl with silver hair and large assets. Yuna doesn't remember anything besides her own name, and she certainly doesn't know why she remains alive as a ghost. Without knowing what keeps her tied to the earth, she is at risk of becoming an evil spirit doomed to go to hell. This is where our anime begins, as Kogarashi decides to help her and chooses to stay at the boarding house, which is full of guests with supernatural powers. What unfolds is a light-hearted story with some great eki moments to enjoy.
今来客用の布団持ってきます。
なぜじゃ？
And now the number 7, Tsugumomo. Tsukumogami are objects that can gain a soul after years of harmony with their owners, allowing them to take on a human form with their own personality. In this anime, a boy named Kazuya, who always carried and protected an obi that belonged to his late mother, is attacked one day by a malicious Tsukumogami and barely survives. The obi he was carrying transforms into a blue-haired girl who introduces herself as Kiria, a Tsukumogami that belonged to his mother, and who will now accompany him in his life. This is when Kazuya is introduced to a world of gods and creatures he never imagined existed, and he must deal with Kiria, a funny and perverted girl who will always be by his side.
ちょっとサーフェ。
先生、そんなこと言われたら私も抑えきれません。
And for the number 8, Monster Girl Doctor. After years of conflict, monsters and humans have finally reached a peace agreement, and from here, we follow Glenn, a human focused on treating monsters. For some divine reason, his patients always happen to be monster girls who make me question my morality as I feel something strange happening in my pants when I see them. Well, when you watch it, you'll understand. Glenn and his assistant, Alamia, who is half snake, half woman, spend their days treating all sorts of problems involving monster girls, which always end up in those good old situations that make us love Eki. This anime is the perfect definition of just turning off your brain and enjoying it to pass the time.
何のつもりだ。
今後の参考にと思って。
何の参考だよ。
義理の妹なんて調教以外に使い道ありますか？
And now the number 9, the Testament of Sister New Devil. In the Testament of Sister New Devil, we follow Becerra, an apparently ordinary boy who suddenly gains a demon lord and a succubus as his servants when his father decides to bring the two to live with him as his half-sisters. Becerra manages to forge a pact with them because he belongs to the Hero clan, sworn enemies of the demons. After discovering the situation of Mio and Maria, his servants, he decides to protect them while dealing with the Hero clan, the demons, and a dark past. Besides being extremely overpowered, he starts building his own harem, deepening his bonds with his servants in ways you can already imagine. This anime is a classic in the Eki genre, featuring great battles and the kind of scenes that I know you, men of culture like me, are after.
動的に体が動く。能力の代償だ。こういう行為とは無縁だと思っていた。
And for the last one on the list, we have Chain Soldier. With another protagonist whom God decided to bless with the life of my dreams, we meet Yuki, an ordinary boy living an extremely mundane life, worried about his future as he's about to graduate and has no idea what lies ahead. Then he is transported to another dimension known as Mata, a place filled with monsters that attack humans. It's here that he meets Kyuka, the captain of a battle division composed solely of women, as they are the only ones capable of fighting these monsters. When they find themselves overpowered by the monsters, Kyuka decides to use her power, transforming Yuki into her slave. Her power only activates if she fulfills one of his sexual desires, and to her surprise, her power is highly compatible with him. This makes him a combatant in her battalion, surrounded by beautiful women, and now he hopes for daily monster attacks so that Kyuka can keep using her power on him. I hope you use the recommendations from this list in moderation, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have similar recommendations, please comment below, and I'll continue bringing more content for cultured men like us. See you in the next one, here on Anaplace.